Hi guys, it's Lisa and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to run you through the winners of the Goodreads Choice Awards, mainly two categories. We will see fantasy and we will see also young adult. I'll run through 10 of the books. In the fantasy category, I'll run you through 6. Out of those, 4 are the top 4. And then in young adult, I'll run you through 4, which are not the winners, but are overall there in the top. In order to make this useful and somehow brief, I'll run you through 6 categories. The first one is why you should read the book. The second one is this book is perfect for. The third one is the setting. The fourth one, if it is a plot or a character-driven book. The fifth one, the tropes. And then finally, the story. It all will be brief, I promise. So stick with me and let's go through different books. The first one and the winner in fantasy, we have A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. And why you should read this book? Mainly if you want something sexy and with a lot of smut. It's perfect for lovers of From Blood and Ash, obviously lovers of A Court of Thorns and Roses series. The setting is this kind of medieval fae world. Then in terms of a plot and character, I think it leans way more towards the character-driven story, because we will mainly follow 2 points of view in this story and nothing really happens beyond what's happening between the two. The main trope is a little bit of a slow burn. There's a lot of longing.
The bad girl turns into the good one.
There's a lot of redemption, and the story mainly follows Nesta, who is one of the sisters of the main protagonist, Fairy. And so she has just transitioned to this fae and she has a lot of dark powers. So she will need to master those powers, meanwhile making some alliances and, finally getting a little bit of love. The second one is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune, and you should read this book because it makes us reflect on what we have as the main topic. It's death. It's perfect, obviously, for lovers of TJ Klune, of House in the Cerulean Sea. If you like this kind of heartwarming books with a little bit of humor, a little bit dark humor, but also, overall really comfy read, this is your book. The setting is just nowadays. It's a little bit more of a character-driven story as well, and the trope is kind of moving forward, how you face your life, how you evolve, and how someone wrong also turns to someone that has a good heart. The main story will follow our main guy, Wallace, as he dies, and he is a bad man. And when the Reaper comes and delivers him to these tea shops in the outskirts of a town, he will meet Hugo, who is kind of in charge of making sure that people cope with their feelings and with their lives before moving on, and the things between the two will unfold. This is also a queer story and it's beautiful. The third one, we have A Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Why you should read this book? Mainly because it's the third book and I have real hopes that it gets better. It's perfect for lovers of A Court of Thorns and Roses, for lovers of
Love
and romance, of characters that are, destined cross-star lovers. This is kind of the trope, and we have like the chosen one. The setting is also this medieval kind of world where there's kind of magic, and the story it's very continuistic through the second book, so we just go up from that point and we'll see how our main character will need to face bigger and badder things. The fourth one is A She Who Became the Sun, and you should read this book because, very similarly to what happens to The Song of Achilles, reading this book kind of makes you see what is taking your destiny with
burning desire
and really wanting to transcend. Perfect for lovers of war and very strategic books. It's an ancient Chinese story, so the setting will be there. It's kind of an Mulan inspired story. So we will have this, a girl turns into a boy to fulfill her destiny kind of trope, as well well as a chosen one. We will follow this main girl. She will grasp the destiny of her brother and she will become someone great, and she will need to face different situations. She will start as a monk and then she will start playing a role in this war that it's unfolding between the Chinese and the Mongols. The book is savage, it's very grey in terms of the motivations of the characters, and overall I thought it was a great book, just maybe not my cup of tea. Then the fifth one, we have A Shadow of the Gods by John Wayne. You should read it because it's a Young Wayne book. It was my first, so I'm not sure if it is the best one, but otherwise it's perfect for Vikings lovers, also for action junkies, because it's a book that goes real fast, making this a very plot-driven story, although we will follow 3 points of view. And these 3 points of view collide in this world where previously there was a war between the gods. But this war resulted in the killing of all of these gods, and now the land contains the remainings of these gods, and whoever has these bones or these remainings have power. And we will see different stories. The first one is of a mother that is seeking her son, and she will do whatever it takes to figure where he is. The second one is of a thrall who is in this path of revenge of who killed his sister. And the third one is of a noble woman that she, wanted to make a path and a destiny for herself. So she joined this kind of clan of people, and she is also hunting for these remainings. And the last one in the fantasy category is For the Wolves. Why you should read it? Because this book proves how a Beauty and the Beast retelling can be different. It's perfect though for lovers of forest, winter stories that have this kind of pining situation of someone that needs to understand their powers. Is more of a plot-driven story. It's a chosen one. And in this land, which is kind of a medieval kind of land, the second daughters of the throne are delivered to the wolf, because the wolf is the keeper of the forest. And in this forest, it seems that he is keeping very wrong and dangerous things to emerge. And in order to keep this wolf happy, they need to sacrifice the second daughter. And of course, we will start with this daughter as she starts his journey to become the sacrifice to the wolf. But of course, things will be different. Alrighty, then moving on to young adult, we will start with A Sky Beyond the Storm, which is the fourth book in the An Ember in the Ashes quartet. Why you should read this book? It's mainly to conclude this story, which I think the series overall was fantastic. It's perfect for lovers of young adult stories that have this kind of more mature end to it, of characters that have very conflicting motivations, different paths, and overall a very rich story. It's kind of this Roman setting, and the story is a very good blend between a character and a plot-driven story. The tropes of this series overall is an enemies to lovers, a chosen one, and overall this book will be kind of the conclusion within this war that is happening between the different factions. Then we have Six Crimson Cranes, which you should read if you want to have this sensation of, just wholesomeness, and to actually read a very easy book. It's perfect for lovers of heartwarming, very beautiful reading stories, and this is set in this Asian environment. The trope, it will be kind of a chosen one. It's more of a plot-driven story, and the story follows our main girl and her brothers, as all of them are cursed. Her brothers are turned into cranes, and she needs to remain silent, because for each word that she speaks, one of her brothers will die, and she will need to find a way to bring her brothers back and hopefully gain again the throne. It will be kind of a quest, but it's beautiful setting. Then we have These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan, which you should read if you want a story about fae, about love triangles, and overall also kind of a very easy and engaging read. It's perfect for lovers of A Court of Thorns and Roses, From Blood and Ash, a little bit of the Cruel Prince kind of vibe, and we will be kind of in this medieval world where the Fae also live, but they are kind of separated. The story is way more plot driven. The tropes will be enemies to lovers, love triangles, and a chosen one. And the story will follow our main girl. She lives in the human world and she has always hated the Fae. They are bad. This Fae have kind of two realms. We have kind of the good Fae and the shadow Fae. And one day her sister will be kidnapped by this shadow Fae, and she will have no other option than to go to this Fae world and find her sister. But in order to do so, she will need to do two things. The first one is kind of pretend that she will be kind of in this selection of the sorts to find the perfect wife for the good Fae prince. And then the second one is to align herself with the shadow in order to find some artifacts. And last, and definitely in this case least, we have A Bow So Bold and Deadly, which is the third book and the conclusion in the Cursebreaker series by Bridget Kemmerer. You should read this book because if you were enraged by book 2, you will find a little bit of happiness in book 3.
Not enough from my side.
But you will be a little bit more happy. I'm really struggling to find why this book is perfect for anyone.
Anywho,
the setting continues to be this medieval Fae world, and this was a portal fantasy story. So we have the human world, and then very apart we have the Fae. It's more of a plot-driven story, and we will continue to follow our main characters and how the curse is finally broken, but what it tells and how it impacts our different characters. And that was it for today. I really hope you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. I publish bookish content every Thursday and Sunday for you to enjoy. If you want to see more videos like this one, consider to subscribe to my channel, and I really hope to see you soon in other videos. Bye!